got a big game tonight. The hockey's been great for the first half. No complaints.
Where are you? Yeah, Connor Bedard and Connor McDavid played tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern over there in Edmonton. 2 stars. I think, something's going on with the camera. It keeps, that camera's trying to check you out of there. What's that building behind you there? Is that Toronto?
That's not fake. That's really the Freedom Tower. That's right behind me here. This is where I live in Tribeca. So this is where I shoot all my videos every day. So I had to give you guys the best view.
Damn.
Good for you.
Hey, and Pat, you know what? Hold on, Pat.
PK's living good. Got the
fur coat.
I'm coming on your show. I got to tee myself up. I got to show the views. I got to put the cardigan on. Come on.
All the gimmicks. I get it. Hey, listen, I appreciate it. I respect it. We thank you for coming on. Let's talk about tonight's game. Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid, 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you don't know hockey, these two guys are certainly guys that you want to watch because of how they play. How are their teams doing? These two teams going to be in it in the end, or what do we expect? What teams are we watching tonight?
Well, I'm going to get to McDavid. Let's start with Bedard. Bedard, first of all, has been absolutely amazing this season. You showed that assist. You want to talk about getting your pants pulled down. Backhand sauce, like 30-foot sauce pass over 2 sticks right on the tape for a tap-in to Murphy, who's not a big goal scorer. There's not an offensive defenseman. Like, look at him, find him through the seam. Like, no players at 18 in the league should be doing that, and that's the skill of the NHL right now. But I said that he'd be somewhere between 20 to 30 goals, 60 to 80 points, which is a pretty big gap, but he's right on pace for that. 23 points in 27 games, 11 goals, 12 assists. He's having a great season. And now you see him making plays like this. Like, nobody makes plays like this guy's at 19 and 20 years old. His vision, his hockey IQ is off the charts. I'm looking forward to tonight because it seems that when he's playing against the league's best, he wants to elevate. He wants to be considered in that category, in that group. So I would expect nothing less. Listen, his team's 31st in the league. But this guy still must-see TV watch every night.
That's why they got him,
he's 8th in the Central Division.
They stink.
That's why they got him.
Yeah.
That's why they got him. So I can't wait to watch this game. And with McDavid, listen, I'm disappointed with Edmonton. Horrible start to the season. You get blown out, in the opening game, 8-0.
This game sucks.
I'm not happy with Edmonton. I think, no, they do stink. And it's, they're 23rd in the league. But if it wasn't for Connor McDavid, they'd be an afterthought. Like, he's carried this team on his back. He was 59th in scoring. He's now 8th in scoring. He's 11 points back from Nikita Kucherov. And I got to be honest, if he ends up leading the league in scoring, which I think he's going to do, this might be one of the most insane seasons I've ever seen. I mean, he was completely out of the mix. He's clawed his way back into it. And I actually think they could get into a wild card spot. They're 5 points back from Nashville now for a wild card spot. If they make it to the playoffs, we're talking about one of the best seasons ever by an NHL player if Connor McDavid's able to pull that off.
And Edmonton's hot right now, too. So we're talking about one of the greatest seasons of all time for a guy.
Yep.
And, he is a fun guy to watch play hockey. Connor Bedard and McDavid, both very fun to watch. What they're able to do, seemingly different than everybody else. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, PK, something you did earlier in the year with Bucci was the NHL Frozen Frenzy, and we all absolutely loved it. What were the reviews on that? What was the feedback you kind of got? And do you think that is something that we're going to get more of as the games get more and more important the closer we get to April?
Well, I loved it. I thought it was great. I was so happy that the NHL now has tried to do different things to elevate the game and create a better experience for the fans. I don't care what anybody does on TV. I still think that you need to go get inside the building and watch the game live. I mean, it's the best game to watch live. I've had some people argue that tennis is more exciting to watch. I don't think so.
Don't talk to those people. Hey, don't talk to those people. Don't talk
exactly.
To those people.
I'm like, guys, what are you talking about?
I've never been to this game.
Listen, I love going to the U.S. Open, but there's nothing compared to watching hockey live. So I love the Frozen Frenzy. It's just going to be tough to do with the scheduling. It's tough. I wish they could do that every weekend, but they can't do that, obviously. So I hope the NHL is able to figure out a way to bring that element more to every season. So I love it. I think it's going to be great if they can continue to do it. They got to make it work with the schedule now.
I've never been to a tennis match in my life.
Nope.
I've watched at home, though. It is electrifying.
When Joker's playing.
Yeah, I guess. You got to dress up, though, right? You got to do the whole thing, whole song and dance.
Collared shirt.
The whole, and then.
To a 10?
Yeah, you can't be wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing, right?
And then some of this.
Right? Isn't that what you're...
Yeah. Golf clap, kind of.
People are saying that's better than hockey game?
Allegedly, that's what they're telling PK.
PK, those people are like, I don't like
circles.
people that I don't know. Those people are dumb. Like, they probably have very powerful jobs too with how America works, but like, those people are dumb right there, PK.
Well, Pat, this was over a conversation with some sports people. It was kind of a beer summit. It was kind of a beer summit. I was having some tequila, so I don't know what they were drinking, but obviously they weren't drinking something that has their brain functioning too well, because I don't think it's even in the same category. Yeah. Hockey's the number one sport to watch live. Period.
I think I'd agree. You get a playoff hockey game, you get to go to one.
Oh, my God.
The atmosphere is absurd. It's a gladiator-type feeling in it because you're sitting on top of the ice with the way it is built. And then just the speed and how everything matters, certainly. Football, I mean, if you get a good football game.
My God.
That's
pinnacle.
Phenomenal. Yeah. You want those UFC fights, boxing?
True.
You get like a good one.
That Jacksonville one, the first one they had back where there were 4 knockouts.
Yeah.
Come on. Hold on, Pat, though.
I'm just trying to see where tennis.
You can literally be up against the glass. You can be 5 rows back from the action, and you're right there.
Agreed.
Right? With football, you're a little bit further removed from the field, so you're not as close to the action. Basketball, yes, but to me, basketball doesn't bring it full circle. I like the physicality of hockey.
Masters
playoff.
I think it's hockey for sure. The physicality.
Yeah, I agree. Tennis, though, I haven't found a spot in the top. I'm still.
It's below golf for sure.
Like pickleball is tough to watch.
Oh, pickleball, yeah.
But I think that would even be.
Formula One.
I think McEnroe put NHL one.
Formula One is below tennis. So that is
it's below
that is certainly
below reading a book.
It is certainly below tennis.
I'd like to say boxing, but I don't think what I'm seeing on TV is boxing anymore. Like, I'm sorry. I see more dancing around in the ring than I see guys actually brawling it out. Every once in a while, I see a fight. I love boxing. I love Mike Tyson. I was at the Rangers game the other night. I got to see Iron Mike. Biggest fan of Mike Tyson. But I loved watching that era. And I was like a little kid watching that era, but I loved watching boxing during that time. Now I see guys dancing around in the ring.
Can't have it.
There's going to be a rematch.
Can't have. Come on,
can't
have it. We need Jake Paul to continue to save boxing.
Sure. Right.
Francis Ngannou is going to save boxing. I think actually, with how heavy his hands are. The UFC though, you get a good UFC card.
Oh yeah,
that's up there.
Yep.
That's up there. Anyways, let's move and let's continue to talk about hockey, the great sport, which is awesome. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, PK. Anytime we talk about football, like going into a season, it's usually like, hey, there's all these teams, but there's basically probably 8 to 10 teams who actually realistically have a shot to win a Super Bowl. I think same goes for basketball and most of it. But when it comes to the NHL, it seems like there is more parity kind of year in and year out. So outside of like the 6 to 8 teams that kind of everyone's talking about and that are at the top of the standings, like is there a possibility that this year, come playoff time, like there will be a team that no one's really talking about right now that has a legitimate shot to win the Stanley Cup?
Well, you're talking football, and first of all, I don't know if there's a team outside of my Cowboys. I think the Cowboys.
We're talking.
Come on, hold on. I got to slide that in there.
Yeah, we're all on. Hey, we all love the Cowboys.
Love the Boys.
Not everybody, but we here.
It's a good football team.
We love. They got a Pittsburgher. They got a Yinzer coaching that team. We love them. We love them down there.
Okay, so if I'm going with a team with the outside chance, on the West you got Vegas, you got Colorado, you got Dallas, people that are considering Edmonton in that mix. I mean, that's a long shot. In the East for me, you got Vegas, obviously, to repeat.
Right, yeah.
I think Dallas in the West is a team you got to watch out for. I think Colorado as well. Those two teams, the reason why, and everyone's going to say, I don't know about Dallas, their defense, but they got Jake Ottinger, and with that goaltender, he's a top 5 goaltender in the league. He can steal a series. And as long as they've added some offensive pieces, Matt Duchene has slid into that lineup, has done really, really well. Tyler Seguin's is back. Seems like he's healthy. Jamie Benn's back and healthy. They're a team you got to watch out. They're fast, they're big, and they got some experience. And Joe Pavelski's one of the best playoff players in the league. So they have the experience and the depth, and they have the goaltending. You got to be careful of them. Colorado, as long as Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar are healthy, those guys are up for their contenders no matter what. Those two are all world, so you got to watch out for them. In the East, when I look at the East, The Rangers obviously are playing the best hockey that I've seen them play in a really long time. 10 years it's been. I really believe the Rangers are going to have a shot to make it to the Cup final this year. As a league, we need the Rangers in the mix.
No.
They bring so much to hockey.
Well,
we want to see them there.
That's okay.
Right? So I'm seeing the Rangers. The Leafs, for me, until they get some defense, I don't care how many games they win. They haven't won a ton of games in regulation. Everything's in overtime and 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm.
They have that skill. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it in the playoffs with the defense that they have. They just lost Joseph Wall, who's come in and kind of been a spark for them. I don't know if their defense is going to be able to hold up coming out of the East. So for me, I think the team that you got to be careful of in the West is going to be Dallas. In the East, it's going to be Florida again.
Yeah.
You know, I know everybody says this.
Yeah.
They'll pull you into a dogfight. I still think Florida, Matthew Tkachuk, I liked what they did last year. They're never going to be a team at the top of the standings, but they give everybody a hard time. You got to look out for that.
Okay, we like the Panthers. We appreciate the Panthers. They are very, very kind. The Pittsburgh Penguins are going to win it all.
Bruins.
I don't even know where it's at. Bruins only good in the regular season.
They're actually in first.
Yeah, in the regular season.
So?
I still don't think their defense. I like their defense.
Just like Toronto.
Don't have defense.
You got the same problem as Toronto. That's what we've been saying this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They got some holes on their defense as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if they're gonna pay some attention to that and make adjustments, but I still think they got some holes on their back end. I don't completely trust them.
Me neither, PK. The only team I trust, Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's right.
Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Hell yeah, bro.
Texas hockey. Yeah, right. Is Madonna lacing up? Darius has a question for you. He's big-time Florida Panthers fan.
Yeah, long-time Florida Panthers fan. Kind of new to hockey as a whole, though. So I got a question for you. I know, like in baseball, you had Ohtani and Mike Trout on the same team, and they absolutely stunk. You talk about both Connors. Both of their teams absolutely stink right now. So, like, how many guys do you need to, like, actually compete? You know, in the NBA basketball, you draft LeBron, Shaq, you're going to at least compete. How many guys on a hockey team do you need to at least compete for a championship, or just be competitive and make a playoff run, in your opinion?
Oh, you have no depth in the National Hockey League. If you don't have balance to your lineup, I'd almost say you have zero chance of winning because it's such a long road to get there. So you can have all the great – I mean, Toronto, if this was about skill and talent, Toronto would be in the Stanley Cup final every year. Like they got a ton of depth up front on forward. They're weak on the back end. They have too many holes in the back end, and they haven't really been able to identify the goaltending issue there. So you need to have depth. You need to have a balance of experience. But more importantly, you need some luck too. It's such a long road. You need to have a healthy team. You need to be able to get into the playoffs. You need to have guys hit their stride at the right time. It's the hardest trophy to win in all professional sports. I hate to say it, but the road's so long, it's so tough, it's so grueling. You look at Vegas, you look at Colorado, you look at those teams when they've won. Look at their lineups. Look at their lineup from top to bottom.
Stacked.
Look at their four lines. Look at their 6D. Look at their goaltending. They're stacked, right? So when I look at the Rangers and their team, they got Jonathan Quick in net, who's won 3 Stanley Cups. They got Shesterkin, who's the best goaltender probably in the world. They got Trouba. They got K-Andre Miller. They got Adam Fox. They got Gustafsson, who while Fox was out, was leading their team on the back end.
Of course.
Like up front, I don't even have to talk about their forwards up front. Panarin's going to probably be up for MVP. They got Lafreniere. They got a tremendous amount of depth. So you need depth in your lineup to get there. If you don't have it, you ain't winning.